Okay, EQ and filters. So we're going to go alphabetically here. We probably should start with one of these EQs, but auto filter is first. So I'm going to keep auto filter kind of simple. It'll make more sense once we go through the channel EQs. So I've added a couple more things here for us to just play with. I just kind of added these synths. And you'll notice that these are MIDI tracks. And even though they're MIDI tracks, I can add audio effects like this audio auto filter, but it has to come after the instrument. So for this one, this is an instrument rack, but this is our instrument, so it's got audio coming out of it. MIDI coming in, audio coming out, and once it's converted to audio, we can use any audio effect we want, even if it's a MIDI track. So here we are with auto filter. So this is a filter, so it's gonna cut out sounds. It can also boost sounds, but we try to avoid using filters that way. So the thing to remember, and we'll talk about this more when we get into the other EQs, is that this line in the middle means unaffected. Okay, so if it's right here, it means we're not doing anything to this sound. So right here, we're pulling away sounds. And so these are high frequencies and these are low frequencies. Okay, whenever you see a filter graph, that's kind of always what it's doing. So if we take this middle line and we pull it down, that means we're pulling down on high frequencies in this case. We're cutting out these high frequencies. If I do this, it means these frequencies right in this little triangle here are being boosted, but these frequencies are being cut out. Okay? So I can adjust the type of filter I have with these buttons here. So I can do this and say, we're just going to let these frequencies through. We're going to cut out low stuff and high stuff. This is called a bandpass filter. But the thing that the auto filter does is it moves around automatically. It's kind of like an LFO. So we've got this track soloed. So here's our filter settings. Resonance boosts it a little bit right at the cutoff frequency. And then we've got our motion amounts and controls here. Amount and rate. Okay, so it's not doing anything now. Let's turn this up. Okay, if we turn this up a lot, we're going to hear it moving. It's moving pretty slow because it's set to 0.11 hertz. It's very slow. It's basically just an LFO. Let's switch this to be the little note symbol here, which means now we're looking at division of the beat. So now, let's move it by a quarter note. Right? So now our filter is effectively opening and closing at this speed. Okay, we don't see it update here, but that's what it's doing. Make it go faster. Or slower. That's kind of annoying, so let's set it to an eighth note. Okay, and that should blend okay. Okay, it's a little weird. This thing's getting a little messy, but you get the point. So an auto filter is a filter, but we're gonna set it in motion and it's gonna move like an LFO.